The Senior Bonus Trap, the hidden $75,000 income limit. The $6,000 siren song. Meet Sam. Sam is a stickman who just celebrated his 65th birthday. In the world of 2026, Sam is what the media calls a golden ager. He's worked hard, paid his dues to the system, and is now looking forward to the benefits promised by the latest sweeping legislation, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, or OBBBA. Sam opens his laptop and sees a headline that makes him smile. New Senior Bonus Deduction, $6,000 off your taxes. To Sam, this looks like a rare win. The government, usually so efficient at harvesting his capital, is finally handing some back. Under the OBBBA, taxpayers aged 65 and older can claim a new temporary bonus deduction of $6,000 if they are single, or $12,000 for married couples filing jointly. This is on top of the already generous standard deduction, which for 2026 has been adjusted for inflation to $16,100 for individuals. Sam does some quick napkin math. He realizes that between his standard deduction and this new senior bonus, he can potentially shield over $22,000 of his income from federal taxes entirely. He feels a sense of relief. He decides to take on a small consulting project, just enough to push his total income to $80,000 for the year. He thinks, even with the extra work, that $6,000 bonus will keep my tax bill tiny. But Sam is about to walk directly into the senior bonus trap. Our forensic audit of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act reveals that this bonus is not a gift. It is a mathematical lure. Tucked away in the fine print of the legislation is a mechanism known as a phase-out clawback. The system doesn't just want to help seniors. It wants to ensure that the moment a senior starts becoming too successful, the benefit is snatched back with violent mathematical efficiency. The red line for Sam is $75,000 of modified adjusted gross income, or MAGI. For married couples, that line is $150,000. The moment Sam's income crossed that $75,000 mark, a silent tax was activated. For every single dollar Sam earned over that limit, his $6,000 bonus began to evaporate at a rate of 6%. Sam thought he was earning an extra $5,000 from his consulting gig. In reality, he was triggering a cascading tax collapse. He wasn't just paying his ordinary marginal tax rate on that extra money, he was simultaneously losing the very deduction that made his retirement affordable. This is the mirage of 2026. The government gives with one hand while the algorithm quietly harvests with the other. Today, we are going to perform a surgery on the OBBBA senior provisions. We are going to look at why a raise in 2026 can actually result in less money in your pocket, how the success tax is being hidden in phase-out schedules, and why your MAGI is the most important number you are currently ignoring. The anatomy of a phase-out and the success tax. To Sam, that $5,000 consulting fee felt like a victory. But in the architecture of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, that extra income acted as a digital tripwire. To understand why, we must perform a forensic audit on Sam's effective marginal tax rate. Most people look at the tax brackets and think they know what they pay. In 2026, the tax bracket is just the cover of the book. The phase-outs are the actual story. Because Sam is a single filer earning $80,000, he is firmly in the 22% tax bracket. On his extra $5,000 of consulting income, he expects to pay $1,100 in federal income tax. Mathematically, that leaves him with $3,900. It's a fair trade for his time, or so he thinks. However, the senior bonus trap now activates its 6% phase-out. Since Sam's income of $80,000 is $5,000 over the $75,000 red line, the algorithm calculates 6% of that excess. 6% of $5,000 is $300. This means Sam's senior bonus is immediately slashed from $6,000 down to $5,700. At first glance, a $300 loss doesn't sound like a bloodbath. Но здесь вступает в дело скрытая математика. By losing $300 of his deduction while being in the 22% tax bracket, Sam loses an additional $66 in actual tax savings. When you add this to his base tax, his effective tax on that extra work starts to climb. But the trap goes deeper. In 2026, we are witnessing the return of fiscal drag. Fiscal drag occurs when the government freezes tax thresholds or allows them to rise slower than inflation while nominal wages increase. Under the OBBBA, while the standard deduction was adjusted, the phase-out thresholds for many bonuses were set at fixed, unmoving numbers. As inflation in 2026 erodes the purchasing power of the dollar, Sam's $80,000 actually buys him less than $60,000 did just a few years ago. Sam is not getting richer. He is just carrying more nominal paper. Yet because the government's algorithm doesn't care about your purchasing power, only your modified adjusted gross income, it reclassifies Sam as wealthy enough to be harvested. He is being pushed into a higher tax realization zone because of inflation, a phenomenon economists call a stealth tax. Our audit reveals that the OBBBA structure is designed to maximize what we call high engagement revenue. The system wants seniors to stay active in the workforce to boost productivity, but it uses complex phase-out schedules to ensure that the resulting tax revenue is captured before it can become sovereign capital. Sam is working harder to stay in the same place, while the system treats his effort as a taxable outlier. In the final part, we are going to implement the sovereignty protocol. We will look at how Sam can use the HSA Triple-Tax Advantage to lower his MAGI, how to utilize the 0% capital gains window, and why the only way to win the game in 2026 is to stop playing by the government's nominal rules. The sovereignty protocol and disarming the trap. Reaching your 65th birthday in 2026 should be a moment of strategic optionality, not mathematical surrender. To avoid the senior bonus trap, Sam must move from being a passive taxpayer to a sovereign capital allocator. He needs to understand that in the barbell economy, the middle of the road is where you get harvested. Step 1. The MAGI suppression strategy. The most powerful tool Sam has is not his income, but his ability to hide it from the phase-out algorithm legally. Under the OBBBA, the senior bonus is tied to modified adjusted gross income. To keep his full $6,000 deduction, Sam needs to pull his MAGI back below the $75,000 line. He can do this through the Swiss Army knife of finance, the Health Savings Account, or HSA. In 2026, the family contribution limit has risen to $8,750, plus a $1,000 catch-up for those over 55. By directing his consulting fees into an HSA, Sam performs a double tap on the system. He lowers his taxable income dollar for dollar and ensures that the money grows and is withdrawn tax-free for healthcare. Most importantly, it pulls his MAGI down, potentially saving his entire $6,000 senior bonus. Step 2. Leveraging the 0% capital gains window. Sam needs to audit his portfolio for tax-efficient extraction. In 2026, the 0% long-term capital gains rate applies to single filers with taxable income up to $49,450. By carefully balancing his withdrawals from traditional 401k accounts and his taxable brokerage account, Sam can stay in the low engagement zone. If he stays below the threshold, he can sell appreciated assets and pay $0 in federal tax on the gain. The system wants him to take high-tax ordinary income. The sovereignty protocol dictates he takes low-tax or no-tax capital growth. Step 3. Charitable bunching and the itemizer floor. The OBBBA introduced a new hurdle for those who still itemize, the 0.5% charitable deduction floor. If Sam's adjusted gross income is $100,000, his first $500 of donations are now legally worthless for tax purposes. To beat this, Sam must use the bunching strategy. Instead of giving small amounts every year, he should concentrate 3 years of giving into a single high-income year via a donor-advised fund. This allows him to clear the floor with a massive deduction in 1 year, pulling his MAGI down and securing his senior benefits, while taking the standard deduction in the off years. The sign-off. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act is a masterpiece of psychological signaling. It promises bonuses and deductions to the elderly, but it hides the clawback in the mathematical shadows. The system relies on you being too tired to do the math. They want you to see the $6,000 and ignore the 6% phase-out. True wealth in 2026 is the ability to see through the tax mirage. It is the realization that your MAGI is a target, and your goal is to make it as small as possible while keeping your actual purchasing power as large as possible. Don't be Sam, the victim of a consulting fee. Be the stickman who audits the algorithm before it audits you. Stop being a harvestable resource. Build your vault, secure your bonus, and opt out of the trap. If this forensic audit of the OBBBA Senior Bonus changed how you see your retirement income, hit that subscribe button. We are dissecting the hidden equations of the 2026 economy every week to help you stop being the product and start being the owner. I'm Joe from fin.stickman, and I will see you in the next one.